So This Is Love by 4 Curious Dad on AO3. Episode 3, Chapter 3. A very messy UA Sports Festival. President Mike's enthusiastic introduction could be heard from miles outside of UA Stadium. It was Todoroki's first impression about this prestigious, heroic high school. Besides a very large entrance gate, and high security that even the number 2 hero, Endeavor, was obliged to go through. After a while, the Todorokis entered the stadium, where there were hundreds of people cheering, screaming, showing how excited they were about the upcoming events. Endeavor was being pretty disturbed by the scene, showing off his usual intimidating appearance in his hero costume. And Shouto just wanted to know where his friend was, so he could see and cheer for him. The Department of Heroics, Freshman Class 1A! Finally, President Mike introduced. Todoroki had waited long enough. He stood up and tried his best to look for Sero in the crowd, or hoping to see him on the big screen around the stadium. But there were too many people, and the cameras were now focused on a small stage, where there was a kid with spiky yellow hair and a weird form of walking, giving a sort of speech. He couldn't care less, but Endeavor showed a little bit of interest with him. Ha, this brat. I'm gonna place first. See, Shouto, this is what you could have had if you enrolled into UA like I said. Some competitions like this. Making friends with them is useless. You need to fight them and be number 1 hero to surpass All Might. Again, this lecture was the last thing Shouto needed to hear now. He ignored all of Endeavor's mocking to gain his attention, focusing on watching the stadium, where all of the first-year students officially started the sports festival. The first event was an obstacle race. It was hard for Todoroki to find Sero, especially when they were running constantly. Still, he managed to spot a glimpse of his friend when he shot his tape to swing around and past the robots. Sero didn't win the first place, but he did enough to get into the second round. After the race, a screen showed the image of Sero panting and looking around the stadium. Todoroki saw it. He stood up and waved towards Sero. Of course, Sero didn't know exactly where Todoroki was in the sea of audience, but thanks to Endeavor's flame, and his surroundings were so tense that they turned a corner of the stadium more silent than others, Sero quickly found Todoroki's location. He waved, then raised both his arms, making a victory pose towards Todoroki's seat, hoping he could see him, then turning around to join the others for the second round. The second round was as interesting as the first one. It was a cavalry battle. At this round, Todoroki had a better view of Sero. He watched him as he carried the same kid who gave a speech before him on his shoulders, shooting tape to get closer to their opponents. This round ended faster than the first one did, and Sero succeeded to getting into the final round. We'll be back after an hour's lunch break. President Mike finished the first part of the day, so Todoroki stood up, left his seat, and looked for a way to get to the students' waiting room, ignoring Endeavor's calling from behind. He wanted to meet up with Sero, to congratulate him, and wish him luck before the second part. Hey, I'm over here. Sero was already waiting for Todoroki in the hallway that led to the waiting area. He was sweaty. His gym uniform was messy. His hair was all wet and sticky around his forehead. Strangely, Todoroki found it very cool. The word Sero likes to say. Congrats for entering the final round. You were really cool, doing your best out there. Todoroki patted Sero's shoulder and tried his best to make a friendly smile. When you congratulate someone, show them that you're happy for them, not just words, but smiling too. Fuyumi had taught Shouto how to show his support for his friend, and now, Shouto was trying his best to follow her advice. It seemed like it worked. Todoroki felt a rare sense of success when he saw Sero's smirk turn into a laugh, which meant Sero really liked his compliment, right? Thank you, Todoroki. Do you mean it? About me being cool? Do you like it? Yes, Sero, you were excellent. I don't think my opinion is relevant to your efficiency, but indeed, you acted and thought like a hero. Ah, yes, but you bet I did my best. It was hard, and the next round will be harder. Now that only the strong ones remain, I don't know if I have a shot, but I will try before giving up. Something about Sero's optimism and determination startled Todoroki. His mind wandered back to his decision of abandoning the hero career, back to his own conflict, of whether it was the right decision or not. Had he ever tried his best to become a hero on his own path? Or was he too focused on revenging the old man and forgetting his dream? Let's go. Let me introduce you to my friends. They're very great. Sero cut through Todoroki's thinking. He slid his arm behind him and rested his hand on Shoto's back, pushing him along with him, and at the same time, pulled the boy closer to him. I hope he doesn't mind if I reek of smoke and dust now, Sero prayed. Indeed, Todoroki did not think about it for 1 second. He found nothing strange at all, not even about Sero's closeness or hands on his back. To him, it was very comfortable, to the point that he left with Sero like that, until they reached the UA's waiting room. This made Sero very anxious, also happy, and already considering in his own word as they reached another step into the relationship. Sero knocked on the door, then opened it after receiving confirmation. Everyone was out having lunch, except those three who were on the same team with him: Kirishima, Ashido, and Bakugo, plus Kaminari. They were resting after the battle, and of course, expecting Sero to bring Todoroki over, because they made him do that. They wanted to know who Sero's crush looked like, except for Bakugo, who just happened to stay in the waiting room, not because of the interest in the other's love life. Everyone, this is Todoroki Shoto. Todoroki, this is everyone. I already told them about you. Kirishima Eijiro, Ashido Mina, Kami Denki, and Bakugo Katsuki. Hello, Todoroki. Nice to meet you. Mina stepped forward and shaked Todoroki's hand eagerly. I'm sorry, but I have to leave now. Apparently, we girls have to perform cheerleading before the final round. I have to go get ready. It's lovely to see you, though. Let's talk next time. And with that, she stormed out the door. Yo, what's up, man? Oh, you have a scar. And manly. You, Todoroki, related to number 2 hero Endeavor? Bakugo asked. He was sitting on a chair, resting his leg on the table while keeping his hands inside pockets. He raised his head when he heard of Todoroki, then proceeded to scan Todoroki up and down. Yes, he is my father, Todoroki said. He sounded nonchalant, but he did feel hatred in his own voice. He hated to admit that that horrible man, who was very mighty hero to everyone else, but less than a father to him, was related to him. What is your quirk? Half fire, half ice. A shitty quirk, just like your shitty hair, huh? You're a hero's son with a quirk. Why didn't you join UA here? I would love to beat the shit out of you. Bakugo! I just wanted to introduce you to all of them. His quirk or his decision is irrelevant. Yeah, whatever you said, Tape Arms. Anyways, I'm going. Bakugo stood up and walked out the room, before completely disappearing. He stopped by the door, giving Todoroki another scan. You loser. And then he was gone. Don't mind him, Todoroki. Say, what do you think about the sports festival? Kirishima asked. It was very interesting. You guys fought really hard. And there was this kid with green hair and freckles. I think he has a very unique style of fighting. I couldn't tell what his quirk is, but I can say it's somehow similar to All Might's. Yeah, we think so too. But he said his is different. He is the one I told you about, Midori Izuku, remember? The one who hurt his finger? Well, he always breaks his bones sometimes during PE class, and he's also the one who's mumbling while analyzing. I bet he also had an analyze some of Endeavor's skills too. Well, if that was true, that would be great. Maybe he could do Todoroki a favor, lend him his data that he had, so he could give the number 2 hero some good blow. While Todoroki was in his own thoughts, with his admiration for one Midoriya, Sarah glanced over Kirishima. See, bro, this is exactly what I worry about. He thinks about Midoriya, and hell, maybe even Bakugo. Let me take you back, Todoroki. Lunch is almost over. Kirishima, we're going. Okay, see you later, bro. You too, Todoroki. Goodbye. Sero and Todoroki came back to the audience area. This time, it was silent, just like before. But Sero was edgy. He knew he shouldn't let out any of his overthinking ideas flood his brain right now, but he couldn't help when Todoroki mentioned Midoriya. Yes, he admitted Midoriya's skills were really great, but he wanted to become the best for Todoroki. So the idea of him admiring or thinking about others before him made Sero uneasy. He's insecure, easily, and it crept back into his head. He was so focused on thinking of a way to leave an even stronger impression on Midoriya for Todoroki, when suddenly Todoroki stopped right before a turn point in the hallway. What's wrong? He couldn't even finish a sentence. Todoroki had covered his mouth with one hand and signaled silence with the other one. Instinctively, Sero held his breath. Oh my god, he looks so cute and sexy at the same time. And then, he realized why Todoroki stopped. You can take your tea to some other damned place. I'm out of here. It was Endeavor's voice. Don't be so cold, my friend. Let's chat for a while. It's been what, 10 years already? And there it was, All Might. I saw you bringing your son with you today. I thought you never would be so eager with education, to the point of bringing your son here for a demonstration, isn't it? Drop your act. I see you are still the same after all these years. So fucking annoying. I have no reason or time to chit-chat with you. Now come on, let's catch up with each other. I want to know how you raise our future generation of heroes. Is taking him here an act of encouraging him to join our path? Ha! You think I will tell you everything? Listen carefully. That boy that you saw today, someday, I'll have made him a hero that shall surpass you. And that is the very and only reason I made that boy. Sero widened his eyes. He couldn't believe what he was hearing from the number 2 hero himself. This was Todoroki's burden all this time? That he was so suffocated by his father's obsession of surpassing All Might? Not even being considered as a son for him? So when Todoroki decided to stay away from the hero's path, he would be out of value? Made? Sero hated it. It turned Todoroki into some kind of tool, depending on the mercy of others, on Endeavor's mercy. And he was angry. Why couldn't Endeavor see how admirable and precious Shouto was? He was so cute, full of curiosity, when asked for an explanation of a joke he didn't understand. He was so focused and serious once he started something. And he was stubborn, but very brave when following his own decisions. Todoroki Shoto was his treasure, and he just wanted everyone to know how much he loved this cutie, how he was ready to keep him safe and make him happy. And yet, his own family, his father, hurt the one he adored so much. He searched for Todoroki's reaction. What made Sero feel more horrified was Todoroki's unbothered attitude. To be exact, the boy didn't seem to be surprised hearing Endeavor's declaration. He's gotten used to it. Surpass All Might, become number 1? That was his only purpose for existence. His father was just doing what he did best, reminding him of his duty. However, he felt miserable and embarrassed. He let Sero, his closest friend, his most trusted ally, witness this. Suddenly he regretted not telling Sero clearly and in detail his reason for refusing the hero career. But that means he had to dig up his dark past, all of the harsh training days with his father, the origins of his scar, his own determination of escaping being a tool for his father, or his determination to abandon his dream to humiliate Endeavor. He couldn't tell all of that straight and plain straight for Sero. He was scared that Sero would find him weak, not good enough. Exactly like what Endeavor said when he told him he didn't want to be a hero anymore. I'm cutting this chapter short. Yeah, sure, I could fit the rest of it, but I am so fucking tired right now. I'm tired, and I just want to get through recording, and this is the first video. No, I'm sleepy. I'm tired. The rest of them are probably going to be 7-8 minutes long. I do not give a shit. I worked a really long shift today. I'm tired, all right? I'm tired. But this was super sweet. This was super sweet. I will say, I kind of read a little bit ahead on what Sero says, and I'm sorry, I get to break up my Spanish. I get to cariño mío. Hold up, I gotta pull that up with me and my partner. I just out of nowhere just cariño mío, right? Will they understand it? No, hell no. But I know what it means, and it's endearing. So far, I've only called them mi amor, right? But that's basic. I want something more good, more fresh, you know? I also pulled up with the, fuck. It literally just left my mind. It literally popped up and then left. What was it? Vida mía, life of mine. So yeah, cariño mío, using that shit. But this was super sweet. Yeah, this was super sweet. I can't wait to see what happens. I want to see them develop. I like them. I like this ship. I really like this ship. This has uplifted me. I'm tired, but I'm lifted. Anyways, as always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.